Good evening. You are now tapped in with Street Brief, where we break down global headlines through a voice that's for the streets and to the streets. I'm Fran Rather.
And I'm Gutter Brokaw. And tonight, we're breaking down the growing conflict in the Middle East between Iran and Israel. But more importantly, we're looking at how does that affect us here, right here in the United States.
And you may ask yourself, what's exactly going on? Well, first, this conflict is not new. Iran and Israel have been on opposite sides of the fence for decades. This isn't just about land, it's about dominance, power, different ideologies, and who runs the Middle East.
Remember, Iran backs militant groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, who have repeatedly attacked Israel. And Israel, when they strike back hard. Airstrikes, intelligence ops, sometimes right at the Iranian doorstep. And lately, things have gotten even hotter. More threats and more weapons, more military movement, and more ways that could escalate into something bigger. But the biggest question many Americans are asking, what does that mean for us here? America's not just on the sidelines. We're in this deep. We are one of the closest allies to Israel. We give them billions in military support, and Israel gets hit. We have expected to step up.
Now, keep in mind, the U.S. and Iran have been at odds since the 1970s. There's history there. And now that tension seems to be reaching a boiling point. Now, remember, this isn't just an over there conflict. There are ramifications that could affect us and touch us right here at home in the United States.
This isn't just a Middle East story. This is a global situation. This is something that is very, very impactful right here locally.
Here at Street Brief, we promise to bring you the real news in a real way.
We're going to keep it clean. We're going to keep it real. And we're going to keep it ours.
I'm Fran Rather.
And I'm Gutter Brokaw.
And this is your Street Brief. Man, hold up. Man, this ain't CNN, man. We got to talk about this shit.
All right. Yeah.
Bro, man, this shit fucked up. Hey, like they say in the great city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it's fucking up. Bro, I don't even want to play with the severity of the situation because this is some real deal shit, bro. I'm watching videos of that shit, bro, the airstrikes. I can't even wrap my head around being here, and then I look outside and I can see missiles and shit and destruction and like from either side, like right. And I just can't wrap my head around it, bro. This shit is too trill.
Yeah, you sent me that video of that airstrike, and it's been kind of. I saw it from you first when you sent it to me, and then I started seeing other people posting, and I think I've even seen some other versions of a similar video where you got these well-populated areas, and man, these missiles, it's just like bombs falling out the sky, like, you know what I'm saying, like you minding your business, and next thing you know, everything around you just been, blown away. But this is so deep. Like, I know in the script we just read, you know what I'm saying, it said decades, but I think that's an understatement when you're talking about what's going on over there. These people have been fighting literally since biblical times. This is deep. It's not, and like you said, it's not just about land. It's about power. It's about placement. It's about, different faiths and ideologies and all of that. But it's become so more political because of the things that are going on even over here, because of our involvement of it over here. And you got to think this involves us in so many ways. I mean, the first way people think is, how does it affect us economically? Like, how does it affect us with the money? And then you got to think, we get a lot of our oil from over there. Oil is in everything, from the stuff you put in your hair to the stuff they use to dye and make clothes, right? Not to mention, the automobile industry, the way they use oil and gas and stuff like that. So, you look at this, 20% of the world's oil flows from right there in the Strait of Hormuz. I think I'm saying that right. Just think if they could cut that off, just think of what this does, to the price of gas for us. You know, we're gonna immediately feel that. You
Yeah.
know, not to mention, I saw today that I think we mobilized one of the like the USS Gerald Ford, one of the battleships that we had, one of the newer ones, was moved into the Mediterranean, I think, to be in
Mhm.
position for possible conflict. So this is real, right? This is very real. Like this is the same thing as a history teacher. This is the same thing that led us to World War II and the first one, pretty much, where you have big boy nations, big boy countries allying and picking sides and
Yeah.
then going directly at each other,
Yeah.
right? And you know, you got so much surrounded by this because you got Jews and Israelis, you got Iran and Muslims. And as a Muslim, I have some feeling about it, and I'm not gonna get in deep with all that, but you know, they are fighting over something that is so much deeper than what people are just trying to make it out to be in this day and age, right? It's really way deeper than that. Like it goes
Yeah.
all the way back to what these people believe, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about an area of the country that is the home base, the foundation of the three major religions of, you know, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, you know. And so all of us believe that that area is sacred to us, right? So it goes so deep into all of that that, you know, it's bigger than just gas for them over there. They not, you know, that's low
Yeah.
on the totem pole for them. But for
Yeah.
us, but I also, you know, it means, what does it mean for us is just getting into a war and having to send young brothers and sisters over there to fight. Now you talking about people could die from over here, you know, on top of all the other cyber, this, that, terrorists, this, that, and the third stuff going on.
There's the cyber attacks that could go so platinum because you got to think about hospitals, power grids, personal information. You saw the hack today where they're talking about 19 billion passwords. Got hacked between Apple. You know what I'm saying? That's real bank accounts. But like you say, see, we go to war, man. Real families are affected. Troops, there's gonna be more U.S. troops. People gonna be, you know what I'm saying, leaving their families. Like, bruh, this shit, bruh. And then,
But
man, bruh,
you also gotta look at it from, and like I said, this is what I teach: politics, history, all this. So I pay attention to the stuff. I pay more attention to it than the average person. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I do know that at one point things had gotten to this point at the beginning or midway point of Barack Obama's presidency, and he worked out a deal. Now people got their different opinions of the deal, and here's where it gets where you can try to see what happens on both sides and kind of get the truth. You can argue whether they follow Barack Obama's deal or not, whether or not it smoothed things out between everybody. You can't deny that. Donald Trump's own national security advisor, intelligence community, has told him they don't have weapons. They just recently, it's like yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard, I think her name is, said that they don't have weapons. You know, there's video of Benjamin Netanyahu repeatedly coming with this: Iran can make weapons, and he's been doing this for at least 20 years, I think, saying this, and still there's no weapons. People are starting to equate this to the whole weapons of mass destruction.
Saddam
You
Hussein
know,
shit.
Saddam Hussein. You know, Osama was the one who came at us. Saddam was just over there doing what he had been doing forever.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know,
And I got I
Bush.
got I got feelings about that whole Osama shit that we'll probably do a whole nother, we could go a whole, you know how I
Yeah,
do.
well, yeah, you know,
But
but here's
but
the thing.
but hey,
So Barack,
go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
huh?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I was about to talk
So
about that
Barack,
bitch BB. That bitch BB fucked up. Benjamin is fucked up. That
oh
bitch
yeah,
fucked
yeah, Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah,
fucked up.
yeah,
He
yeah,
fucked up.
yeah, yeah.
That bitch
Yeah,
had
you bought
fish.
the bottle of beer at 11:45.
Yeah.
So Barack had a deal, and now from what Donald Trump's national security branch is saying, the deal was upheld because they can't find weapons of mass destruction. Well, now Trump and Netanyahu on the same team saying that they possibly got something. My thing is, it's tricky that, when a couple countries want to get together and say, well, hey, we got nukes, but you can't have nukes. And that's just the way it's gonna be. That's kind of weird. So I mean that could kind of, why they can't defend
I look.
themselves. I mean,
I just told V that earlier. I'm like, man, if this shit really about safety and shit, well, all right, everybody, nobody have no motherfucking.
nobody have nukes, right?
Let's
Nobody have
just,
need to have
you
no
know what I'm
nukes.
saying?
I
Like,
mean, hell,
nah, they don't
the
be like
only country that ever used one was who? Us. And we
us.
did it twice.
We just
Like,
smash some shit.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's not funny. Like, I mean, I know we kind of, we're cackling right now, but this is not funny at all because people gonna die, people could die. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Like, where I'm at, I'm less than 30 miles from an Air Force base. When I mean, if they were to shoot at us, they're not gonna shoot they ain't gonna shoot Baton Rouge. What they gonna shoot in Baton Rouge? Tiger Stadium? They don't care about Tiger Stadium. They trying to shoot at military bases. They
Yeah,
trying to shoot at overpopulated
yeah,
cities, right? That's why I mean, they didn't just fly the planes into the World Trade Center because they were tall. It's because of what they represented. They represented world trade, right? They interrupted world trade. So you got to think that God forbid war ever be brought to our front door. Like if it is brought to our front door, we never experienced that. Like
we
these
ain't built
people
for
in
that
our
shit, bro. We ain't built for that
we,
shit, bro.
we not built for that at all. Like people, man, we went and bought up all the toilet paper because COVID. That shit didn't make no sense. Just think if they went and told these people a missile was flying this way.
Yeah,
We, and if you know
massive scary.
anything, if you know anything, a missile flying this way is the least of our worries because we got all kind of defense to knock that crap out the air,
Yeah,
right? My thing is, like I told my wife, man, they keep raising this alert. We ain't going to no overly populated nothing, not a concert, nothing. You
yeah.
know, I know we got a football game we supposed to be hitting up on deck. I might die about that, but 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 you know what I'm saying. You got to be careful with all this stuff. Uh, but I, this is so much deeper. Like, but we in it. Trump is picking the side of Israel. United States has been on the side of Israel. We always have. Even Barack Obama was. That's just the way it was because they are more tied into the Western world than the Islamic world and Palestine and Iran and Iraq. That's just the cultural difference is. Again, as a Muslim, I understand that. I have deeper feelings. Not gonna go into all that, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, I know my history enough, and I have been on at least I've been a part of at least two of the three faiths. Right. I grew up Christian. I was raised Christian. I was taught Christian, and I converted to Islam. And that gives me a personal feeling in all this to see Muslims suffer and to be made like they're the villains when listen, they weren't the ones blowing up hospitals, right? They weren't the ones trying to use biological warfare, right? Let's be honest. What's been going on in the last year over there, right? That
Mm-hmm.
Israel has had the upper hand. They've been the big brother and the big bully in all this because a certain country that's seen as the greatest world power globally has their back.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But I'm
I,
gonna finish with this. The reason that I hold my Islamic feelings towards over there is because we got our own problems over here. If you ask me how I feel, I'm not saying that we should be on Iran's side or have more sympathy towards the Muslim community over there. I'm saying we should stay the hell up out of it
stay out of it.
because for as dirty as their front porch is, our front porch is filthy. It's filthy. And I'm worried about my brothers and sisters that look like me, talk like me, act like me, and come from the same neighborhoods that I come from.
Man, really go watch them. Go watch them Iranian people how they really feel about America. Y'all go look at some of them videos. Niggas be really deaf to America. And they have their reasons. I'm not, but bitch, I'm American, so bitch, hey, all right now, y'all, all right, bitch. Like you say, stay the fuck out that shit. But bitch, if we get in, bitch, y'all better mush something. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you have no choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have no choice. But man, them people
Man, I
ain't
don't want us
fucking
to
with that.
mush. I
I
don't
don't
want
want to
us
fuck
to
with that.
mush nothing.
I don't want to fuck with that.
Like
I don't want to fuck
I'm
with
gonna
that.
be, I'm gonna be honest. Like this is, I think this is way more volatile than what people think.
It is.
Especially if, like, if we get in it, it's not gonna go the way people think because if we
Mm-mm,
get in it,
mm-mm.
then
Cause they
Russia
got
gonna
big,
get
they
in it.
got big brothers. They big brothers go jump in, like, you know what I'm
And then
saying?
it's gonna be a real fight, and then it's gonna get to when it's gonna get bad is when it get to fighting on the ground, and we gotta send
Yeah,
people
yep, yep,
feet on
yep,
the ground,
yep, yep.
right? But then we don't know where that takes us politically. You know what I'm saying? And then the wild part is you got the Republican side of things. They actually mad at Trump because they don't want to get in a war. They rather go fight a war in Los Angeles, in New York, against other Americans. That's the wildest part. You literally got folk that's working in government that's calling for civil war over war in the Middle East, which I'm with them with the no war in the Middle East. But damn it, you can't fight war against your own people. But I tell folk all the time, America is only what, like 250 years old about. So yeah, you look at these other countries in the Middle East that's been around for thousands of years. I mean, the names change, but the names change because they've had multiple civil wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to ask me some controversial conspiracy type, I would not put it past us to go into civil war. You go look at that last Civil War movie. I liked it because it broke it down and it created a image that I believe. Like, it's not gonna be some Democrats versus Republicans. That's not about to happen. No, what's about to happen is California about to be like, hey, bro, no. Like Texas
But
gonna be like, no,
and
like,
and see, we could talk about that over here, but what niggas don't be realizing, them bitches over there really living like that. They'll overthrow some shit. Like, yeah, you know what I'm
quick,
saying?
real
Them
quick.
bitches, it's different. Like, it's fucking
Like
different,
you got
dog.
African nations that it's one country with two whole separate armies in the one country.
Yeah, facts, facts.
Like you think Watts in California with Bloods and Crips is bad.
That's man, that's a different way of
Like,
living, dog.
yeah, this is like we're not built for that. We're not ready for that. We're not ready for a world with that. We would really like, and God forbid somebody like Trump. Trump is radical. I don't care what nobody, conservative, my ass. Trump is radical. You don't know if he bring back conscription. And for those of you who don't, it's the draft. He get the drafting motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you able body and you under 35 and over 18, you got to go fight. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So who says you can't bring that back? Like, I tell students that all the time. You don't know what we in such a volatile, just like they had to undo slavery, they could redo it. It ain't nothing for the government to get so radical and so pent up, especially, and that's when this type of stuff happens, right? Like Hitler took over through war efforts and telling Germany that we gotta stop these people over here from taking these people, they coming over and taking them. It's the same thing. These people coming over and taking our jobs and woo woo woo, and yeah, to an extent he ain't lying, but to a further extent he is over exaggerating, and it's creating all kind of fear and sentiments that people really don't. It's crazy when you got like a white person in Maine saying, man, these Mexicans are running rampant in Maine. In Maine, y'all worried about
I mean,
Mexicans?
I never been there. I don't think they running rampant, but they probably got Mexicans everywhere at this point.
I mean, as they should. I mean, hell, at the end of the day, we won't keep it a buck. Ain't none of us just really from over here, not even the white
Man,
people.
I think niggas was here. We was here. We indigenous like a
That's very
motherfucker.
much. And I don't care what nobody say. Hey, if you from Louisiana and you
I
black, you
think
probably got Native American in your blood too. We was here. All right.
niggas.
I don't know. I can't speak for the colored population in other parts of America, but if you are from Louisiana, part of you been here for a long time. It's like,
I think
so
that
we've been here. Hey, and I can
that's a
prove it.
whole app.
I know I got a great aunt that was a librarian, and way before ancestry.com, she did all that genealogy and all that. And I got like a great grandmother that's daughter of an Indian chief in central Louisiana somewhere. So that's the beauty, and we need to have an episode about that. The beauty of being from Louisiana. Most other states were only ruled by one country, either the English, the French, or the Spanish.
Yeah.
Louisiana, we was run by all three.
All
We
three of
got
them.
everything. That's why I hate when black people from Louisiana be like, I ain't got no white people in my family. Nigga, please. Yes, you do. You know what was going down around here? Like, I understand we the deep south and we was racist, but everybody was getting down with everybody around here. Like, but white folks was with black folks was with the red folk were with the white folk. Like that's just how it got down. That's the beauty of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? We got the Spanish, we got the French, we got the English, we got the African, we got the native, we got everything. That's what Creole is. And then you get into all that. So I think we was here. We'll get into all that. That's a whole another episode to have on another day. If you with us, we got a lot of stuff. That's why we hope you stick with us, man. We're gonna be disaggregating a lot of topics.
That's a fact. Street Brief with the bros. Fran Rather signing off.
Gutter Bro Call. Holla at your boy.